Hey guys, Jake here. Today I am reviewing The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
When you hear something that sounds like a gunshot, drive. This mission is end of the world. That kind of thing. Nicely done. Damn.
As a special agent, you're not having a very special day.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Rated PG-13. Experience it at IMAX.
So The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a new spy movie, and we've already had some pretty damn good spy movies this year. We have Spy, Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, and Kingsman, which I thought were all phenomenal spy movies. So how does The Man from U.N.C.L.E. stack up against them? Pretty well. Now, I'm going to start off with the negatives about this movie because I want to end this video on a positive note. But the negatives in this film, I have two main problems with it, and the first being that this movie overstays its welcome. It's pretty long, and I didn't expect it to be that long. I don't think it needed to be that long. Some of the stuff could have been cut out. Some of the scenes could have been gotten rid of, and the film, I thought, could have ended at 3 different sections towards the end. But they just kept going, and it felt really dragged along and forced, and I really wish that they would have just cut it out and ended it at a certain point. It would have been a more, kind of enclosed film, and it would have been a better story overall if they would have just chopped some of that fat off and just kept it a nice big juicy steak with no fat. You like that analogy? Because I did. Now, my other main problem with this movie is it is a cliched spy movie. It doesn't do much to diverse itself from other spy movies. It's very, very formulaic. It doesn't do really anything to change up. Even the plot twist that they have in this film, you can see it coming from a mile away if you really pay attention. But other than that, those are really my main issues with this film. A few minor details, but other than that, let's talk about the positives. Now, the positives in this movie are quite a few. I really liked the performances in this movie. I think they were really solid all the way around, even from the supporting cast. But Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer both do a pretty good job in this movie. They don't do anything out of the ordinary, so if you didn't like them before this movie probably isn't going to sway you to liking those actors any more than you did. But I think they both did a pretty solid job at playing their characters. Henry Cavill plays kind of this suave and charismatic American agent, and then you have Armie Hammer who plays this badass, straight-by-the-numbers kind of Russian agent, and they both worked really well together. I really liked their on-screen chemistry. They kind of have this really reluctant friendship that really plays throughout the entire film, and I liked that they had this really cool banter going on between each other every time they were in a tough situation. It really worked well because you had Armie Hammer taking it really seriously, and then you had Henry Cavill who was kind of making jokes the whole time, even if they were about to die. That was really fun to watch, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. But my favorite performance in this film is Alicia Vikander, who is awesome in this movie. She does a really, really great job. I really loved her character and her performance in this film. She's just been impressing me a lot lately. I really enjoyed her in Ex Machina, which is still one of my favorite movies of the year by far. She was phenomenal in that movie. She did a really, really great job in this movie, and this girl has a really, really promising future ahead of her. What I really liked about this movie is that it really kind of was a throwback to the old James Bond movies with like Sean Connery, where your hero was this really charismatic and suave guy who was really good with the ladies, and he just kind of always made a joke even in serious situations. I really enjoyed that aspect of this film, and even though it was a cliched, the whole idea of it kind of throwing back to those old James Bond films kind of was the saving grace for me, because even though it was cliched, it's a cliche that I rather enjoyed. Now, as far as the action goes, I really enjoyed the action. I thought it was really well filmed. I had really liked the fight scenes in the movie. The chase scenes were really cool. I liked the chase scene at the end a lot. I think it was one of my favorites of the year. Is it as good as the one in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation? Not quite, but I thought it was a pretty well filmed scene. You knew what was going on at every second of it. You were never confused or didn't know what was going on. I really liked that they did this kind of style where you had Armie Hammer on a motorcycle, you had Henry Cavill chasing him in a dune buggy, and it kind of was focusing on one character when he was chasing the people, and then zoomed up, zoomed over, and zoomed down to show Armie Hammer kind of driving. It was a lot similar to what they did in Run All Night, and I don't think it worked well in Run All Night, but I really liked it in this film because it showed how close they were, and I really just liked the way they filmed it. So that's all I'm going to say about this movie. I really enjoyed it overall. I think it's a pretty fun film. If you like spy movies, if you like action movies, I strongly recommend you go see it. If you're not a fan of action or spy movies and you don't like Henry Cavill or Armie Hammer or Alicia Vikander, it probably won't be your cup of tea because it's definitely not your target. You're not the target demographic there, okay? If you don't like spy action movies, this is not going to be the movie that sways you to love that genre. It's just not. But I had a great time with it. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say about this movie. If you want to hear more from me, you should definitely hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like this video, check out some of my other ones, and I'm out.